Columbia voters will decide city council races and a high-profile sales tax increase.
2 Washington State boys will stand trial accused of bringing a gun and knife to school.
And the saga surrounding the Oklahoma dentist continues. KOMU 8 News First at 5 starts now.
Live from Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News First at 5.
Good evening, everyone. Municipal elections will take place across the state on Tuesday, and Columbia and Boone County voters will vote on some hot-button issues. Good evening, I'm Katie Brennan.
And I'm Jim Rake. Thanks for joining us. Along with electing city council members, Columbia voters will decide on a controversial sales tax. It would fund nearly $20 million for improvements to the Columbia-Boone County 911 Center. Incumbent Mayor Bob McDavid is in favor of the tax, but his challenger Sid Sullivan says the tax unfairly hits poorer residents harder.
Putting it into one organization that is accountable to an elected official, in this case it will be the county commission or the sheriff, I think is a good thing.
The sales tax hits the poorest people the hardest because they're the ones that spend their entire income. So they're the ones that are going to be supporting this.
But I think also the status of security cameras in downtown Columbia is another concern for voters. Citizens have expressed concern. The 8 downtown cameras have not deterred crime the past 2 years. McDavid says the cameras are a security measure the city needs. Incumbent 3rd Ward Councilman Gary Kespole agrees. Seated city council members and opponents also disagree on downtown construction and fees for new developments. Remember, Columbia bus routes will run extended hours until 8 p.m. Tuesday to accommodate voters.
Well, I hope everyone is certainly enjoying this beautifully mild Easter coming up in just a bit.
Rosie, thank you very much. The investigation continues in the death of a Texas district attorney and his wife, while 2 boys stand trial in the state of Washington.
Thanks, Jim. That's right. We'll have those stories and more in your First Nation report here. Officials continue to investigate the deaths of a North Texas district attorney and his wife. Police, sheriff's deputies, and Texas Rangers, as well as the FBI, are investigating the murders of the Kaufman County DA Mike McLeland and his wife Cynthia. Authorities say their front door was kicked in. This comes just 2 months after one of McLeland's top prosecutors was shot to death. At the time of that murder, McLeland swore they would find the perpetrator, but so far no arrests have been made in that crime, and now investigators will examine whether there is a connection between the 2 cases. Also, a judge in Washington state has ruled that 2 boys ages 10 and 11 are capable of knowing right from wrong. Now they'll stand trial accused of bringing a gun, ammunition, and a knife to their elementary school in February with the intent to kill several classmates. Kelsey Watts reports.
9 witnesses, hours of testimony.
Experiences in this community.
Also Friday, both boys pleaded not guilty to all charges: conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, juvenile in possession of a firearm, and tampering with a witness. They're being held on $100,000 bail and will be back in court April 8th. And that's your First Nation report. Now we'll head back to Jim at the news desk.
Katie, thank you very much. Pope Francis celebrated his first Easter Sunday as the leader of the Catholic Church. NBC's Claudio Lavanja has more from St. Peter's Square.
Pope Francis delivered his first Easter Mass in his now traditional style. This is Claudio Lavanga for NBC News in St. Peter's Square.
In other world news, a new airline has taken off in France. It's called HOP, which made its debut today. The company is the merger of 3 regional airlines. HOP will operate 530 daily flights within Europe and France. One-way tickets start at about $70. The company says the addition was designed to appeal to younger flyers. Raging inferno in India has killed 2 people. A massive fire engulfed a handloom factory. Reports say employees were working inside the building at the time. The fire caused extensive damage. It's not clear how the fire started. Fires in India occur often as safety regulations are not strictly enforced. The streets of Chile's capital resembled a war zone this weekend. Dozens of students were marking the Day of the Young Combatant in Santiago. It honors 2 young brothers killed by police during a 1985 demonstration. Clashes between protesters and police turned chaotic. Demonstrators set police cars on fire. Officers responded with tear gas and used a water cannon to disperse the angry crowds.
It's looking like we'll keep mild conditions on tap for the rest of your Easter evening, but we have a couple of quick changes on the way for Monday morning, including just a slight shot of a wintry mix. We'll talk about all the details of your full forecast coming up right after the break.
And you're looking live over the Columbia Regional Airport. This is KOMU 8 News, first at 5. Coverage you can count on.